What, you have to stop it and start it?
Yeah.
Was it getting close?
It was there.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you didn't hear the rant, get off of Tinder. Tinder's junk.
Hot garbage. Tinder, Bumble, whatever the hell
What's
you're
the other
using.
one?
Hinge.
Face to face.
Bro,
Did you imagine 2024? That's hard nowadays.
But that's the problem with everybody these days. Everyone's so concerned about the image that they uphold on this 5-inch screen that they hold in their pocket that when they get out into public, the personality and the person that they lead everyone on to believe that they are is a completely different version of the person you get in front of you.
Well, you see it all the time, and I'm not saying it with just women. I'm going to add the men in here because we got to add both. When you get the photos of the person up like this and you meet him in person and they're 400 pounds heavier than
yeah.
Nothing wrong with big people.
Hey, man, but just be honest. Just be upfront.
Yeah, but it's hard for some people, man.
I know it's hard, but if you're trying to be a productive...
Oh, yes, it is.
It's 100%. So easy. And most people, and a lot of the times people don't expect it to ever get past the phone.
No.
And a lot of the times, I'm not saying this is strictly girls, but a lot of the times girls will keep you in that zone.
No, I'm busy tonight.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't want to go tonight.
But and of course, a lot of guys, because they don't understand self-control and when you should stop putting someone else's happiness above your own, to cut that ish off and focus on yourself.
You know what I have an issue with?
We need to turn this camera around and have asparagus.
What do you have
shapewear.
What's shapewear?
Oh, like stuff that shapes you? Yeah.
Like Skims?
I don't agree with that. Like push-up bras and like stuff like that.
That point,
that
you're just gonna expose yourself anyway.
That's what I mean. If the whole point to me, this is the way I think about.
It's more
Wasn't there a Family Guy clip on that where he kept turning the lights on and off?
I think so.
It's just another way to hide yourself, in my opinion.
It is.
Listen.
Be you.
Yeah.
Honest to God, the authentic, and to be truthful, a lot of times, in my past experiences, even I'm not going to go into detail about it, but there's certain things like with the people I've been with, and I've been with them, for X amount of time, and then all of a sudden I realized that this isn't actually true about them.
Yeah.
Like that was just a thing, and I'd be like, why didn't you say that from the start? Because I like that a lot better than whatever it was you were trying to portray to me.
Full face and makeup, and meeting them without. Like the one thing that my girlfriend does, which I love, is she doesn't wear makeup, and then when she does, it's a complete treat.
That's what I mean.
I'm used to seeing the same face, but when she doesn't, holy.
Right, and that's shout out to all my past girlfriends. None of them have ever been one to wear
face makeup.
Of makeup, absolutely
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with that. But to me, when I see a face of makeup every day, in my own opinion, this is my own opinion.
You got to doll up for yourself. Though,
it's I understand that, and I also try and make myself look good because it makes me feel good when I look good.
So who would say anything?
But I'm. It is hypocritical for me to say this, but I'm also not putting on half a pound of shit on my face.
No.
My makeup is a beard, a hat.
Well, that's just it. You got the man makeup. You got the beard,
I got the man makeup.
But you got a good jawline.
I have a crazy jawline, dude.
Some boys don't.
But we're just talking about nitpicky things.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, I agree with you 100%. None of my girlfriends in the past ever wore makeup every single day. Even when we were in high school. Maybe a touch of mascara, that'd be it. So, I mean this wholeheartedly. If any one of you are watching this, all of you are objectively beautiful women without makeup. So, whenever you get dolled up, get a full face makeup on, nice outfit, whatever, it's like, man, I just fell in love with you all over again. It's and I wish that the perception, society's perception of women wasn't so much that you need to look like a Barbie doll all the time, because I'm not going to sit here and lie, even though that most of us can agree and say we don't want that. The way that society has portrayed over the last, I want to say probably since, I'm speaking beyond my realm of time on this earth, but even in the 80s and 90s, the expectation of women in public was to be more presentable than the male counterpart, we'll say. Because women can prepare to go out in social environments a lot more than a man can, so it was expected of them to do it all the time. Whereas I don't believe that women should have to do that, have to do it. If you want to do it, power to you. But the perception that we want to see you out here in a nice sundress or a nice miniskirt with a halter top on, with a half a pound of makeup and foundation that you can clearly see is a different color than your neck.
That's a tough call out. That is tough.
I'm telling it like it is. We don't. If you want to do it, no, I'm not saying that. If you want to do it for yourself, I am not shitting on you, but don't feel like you have to do it for us. Because in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter. Because at the end of the day, if you're beautiful, you're beautiful.
Let me ask you a question. If you were to see a woman out downtown without makeup on, would you perceive her as single or taken? Without makeup.
Without makeup, single.
Without makeup, taken.
It's either
Taken.
or sorry, no, yeah.
Without makeup,
Without
taken.
makeup taken, or she's extremely self-confident,
but
and
this-
she knows that she's the shit.
This goes into the argument of most women are going out downtown, full face and makeup.
I don't go out downtown without the intention of meeting somebody.
Girls that go downtown are single.
Yeah.
That's the point of going downtown. Because the people who are taken are at home with their hubby, or at home with their significant other, or doing something else that isn't involving...
Or they're downtown with their significant other.
Or that, but in my experience, most couples don't go downtown. Because nobody wants to... If you're there with your significant other, you're trying to spend time with each other.
Yeah.
How can you spend time with each other one-on-one when you got 300 other people and loud music enough that you can't even hear yourself think? Like, it's not a place for couples.
I
Like,
ask you another question. This is a good one.
okay.
Mentality.
Yeah.
You're out with your significant other.
Sure.
I'll let you pick whoever you want to. We're not going to air out their name. Mm-hmm. You're out in public. What were you like when you were around them? Were you a bit more like, I know what you're doing? Like, were you kind of protecting them, or were you kind of just letting them be? Because to me, I know what other guys are doing, so I'm going to walk behind her.
Oh, you mean like that? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm 100%.
Yeah,
I am. That's maybe it's a.
I know what other guys are like.
You know,
man.
yeah,
Like,
oh
the
my
mentality
God,
thinking,
bro.
I know what you're doing. Like,
I know
what you're trying to do.
And the thing is like, a lot of women are innocent to that fact. Not. They just don't understand. But at the same time, we're completely oblivious to the fact that women sit and view us in public.
Oh, I know. But it does. But it's funny
Because like
we're
I've
always
been told in the past, like why are you doing that in public? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Be like, do you know how many girls I just watched going like, well,
Yeah,
you did
which
that,
is-
like,
yeah.
you know, maybe I was pulling my sweater off and my shirt came out, my abs were showing. Like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like stupid
don't
things like
perceive
that
women
that
as
I
looking at
don't
us like
perceive that. But at the same time, they see what other guys do and they are completely oblivious to that fact
I
as
got
well.
a question, because we got a woman over here.
Yeah, special
What's
guest.
the obsession with gray sweatpants?
Do I need to really say this?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
What's that?
I prefer a man in like jeans.
Jeans?
No, but like
Black.
the gray sweatpant thing is because you can see.
Nice.
But you know what? Dicks aren't that attractive, so I don't understand.
Every single time I ever wore them, I was like, I always got the look like,
I think dicks are ugly. I just gotta say that. I
oh,
think dicks are so ugly.
Air it out.
Yeah.
Air it out.
yeah, all right.
I'm
This
not
is a
saying
different.
I don't like what they do. I'm just
Gonna
saying.
say-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was bad.
Anyhow.
Like, if we're out with Brianna, it's bad, man. Because I know what other guys are doing.
You already
I'm not
know.
a Muppet. Like, I know what
We're
he's
not.
doing.
That's what I mean. We're not born yesterday. We're still like, but at the same time, it's like it's not so much that I didn't understand how you were wording the question when you first presented it to me, but when you gave the example of like
Examples,
walking
yeah.
behind her, like yes, I'm absolutely, I'm not like, don't touch what's mine, but I'm very
I am.
well, I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm not gonna be unless it gets to that extent where I need to step in and be like, hey, dude, what the. Like, do we need to go outside and trade hands? Like,
Yeah.
like if you don't back off, you're gonna catch this jammy. Like, not so much to that point all the time, jumping to that conclusion. But I'm very mindful every time I go out in public. I'm not stupid,
Yeah.
and it's like especially when you have a beautiful woman at your side. You already know everyone's gonna be looking at her anyway.
Oh, I feel bad. Well, because some of the women, and it's not my relationship, but I've seen some relationships where the woman is also looking for the attention from other guys while being with a guy. Mm-hmm. And I know this is a whole thing on mentality, and we've got to stop spinning it this way, but it's got to be aired out there. How do you deal with that as a guy? Do you even deal with that as a guy?
That's when you walk away.
From the relationship?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you clearly state what makes you not happy.
Yeah.
And if nothing changes,
Yeah.
no problem. I'm not changing you. I'm not changing myself. We can go our separate
But
ways.
then some other men are into that, and some women too. Because
Hey, man, like,
I know some women that are down bad. What I'm gonna say is that they think they can fix them.
Yeah.
That's another conversation in itself. That people that are like, oh, I can fix them. I'll fix them. Yeah.
Ain't Bob the Builder.
Yeah. Thank you. You ain't Bob the
You
Builder.
ain't Bob the Builder, but at the same time, do I think the right people are worth it? Yes, but if the right people aren't putting the same effort as you are, walk
Yeah.
away. The thing is with relationships, in my opinion, the energy has to be matched. Like if you're both working towards the same goal, one person can't pull all the weight, especially when it's a personal individual crisis, we'll say.
Right.
It's different than like working at the relationship because that's a group collective goal.
Right.
But like an individual goal, like whether it is you're trying not to overthink so much every time I leave the house and you're not with
Sure.
me, or something, any one of the thing, that's, you can only put up so much patience, whatever it is that you're giving on your side of the equation, you can only do so much. If that energy isn't being met, it might not be the same action, but if the same energy isn't being met on the opposite side,
While
that's
voicing
when,
your opinion
while
on it.
making proper communication is what 90% of every relationship lacks, and why most of them, in my opinion, fail.
So I'm going to talk on this. You had something to say. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say that I think there's a degree of what's worth fixing for the right person.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it's something like
Way out in left field,
if
like
they're a
trauma.
cheater,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna fix that.
No.
They're a cheater for
Or
life.
it's like, when my buddy passed away in March, rest in peace, Devin, love you, buddy. But if I was with somebody at that point in my life, if I had a girlfriend, and you all saw what type of way I fell into when he passed away. Like, I was not in a good spot. Like, that's nobody's place to fix except for me.
But
Now,
there's a degree of support that we all could offer to you.
Exactly.
and help you out, but we
I'm-
can't fix it for you.
exactly. But what I'm saying is, it becomes a point where you can only do so much. And like, I mean, even my past experience just recently, like I pretty much hung myself out to dry for that entire time, and just let my heart hang out there. And you can punch and beat on this whenever you want to, whenever it's going to make you feel better. I don't care. I'll take it. And there was only so much I could do. Like, I could only take it for so long because I was doing the right thing. Like, there's no question in my mind I was doing the wrong thing. I was doing the right thing by the person, not so much by myself, but by the circumstance, by respecting boundaries, by doing all this, all that. I made sure that my intentions were clear. I wasn't overstepping boundaries, and I'm here for you if you need me. And that's all you could offer. And if that doesn't get met back in some form of way, then there comes a point where you as a person, you have to respect yourself enough to, I can't do this anymore. No hate, all love, no disrespect, but I cannot do this anymore, like for my own sake. And you have to be your own advocate, because if it's taken me a lot of nights in tears, a lot of nights alone, a lot of nights hating life, a lot of nights questioning why I ever did anything this way the past 4 years of my life, to realize that you are worth something, and you're not worth killing your own heart and soul over for somebody that isn't even giving you half the time a day, to even speak to you. And coming from, I feel like in a society standpoint, guys are caught in that loop a lot more than the vice versa. Not saying it can't be the other way, because I won't sit here and lie and say I haven't done it the opposite way, not to any serious extent, but, leading people on, I'll say. I've done that before. I'm guilty.
Women do it 100% of the time.
But you know what I mean?
Guys, but-
Like, it happens on both sides, but we see it more happen to the male counterpart. And a lot of times you just don't hear about it.
The guy I'm talking to.
Yeah, okay. I fell asleep at 8 p.m. and woke up at 2 p.m. the next day. What a crazy nap.
The guy I'm talking to. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, all right, buddy. That's what I say. Is that right? What are we at here for time? We're at 20 minutes again. I don't know.
You're good. Pretend like we know what's going on.
We know exactly what's going on.
Professionals.
Well,
that went from mentality to...
But that's the beauty of a podcast. I kind of like this format a little bit.
Speaking?
Yeah, just kind of having a
Talking.
conversation in general.
It works, man.
It works.
It works when you're young, opinionated, and you don't know what's going on in the world.
Well, we're young, opinionated, and we do know
And
what's going on.
expecting a child.
Not us, though.
No, frig that. Frig that.
Hey, man, you want to know what's crazy? If I found the right girl, or if I was with the right girl,
You've told me this.
I would start having kids tomorrow.
See, I'm a little bit selfish, and I don't think I'm ready for kids because I'm not where I want to be yet.
I am not either, but I want kids.
Really, eh?
I'll figure it out.
See, then yeah, of course, I'd figure it out too. I just feel like I don't know.
See, to me, and this has been a lot of recent
Because it's
growth.
so much.
It is, but at the same time, like I go through. I'll give an example. Like I go to work. I work 5 days a week, at an 8 to 5.
You work 7 days a week.
I work 5 days a week at an 8 to 5. I work on the weekends doing car detailing. I work in the evenings on the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, I need to lock in even more. As stupid as that sounds, I work 7. Like last weekend was the first weekend I took off since like June. Maybe before that, I can't remember now. But like, I decided last weekend, no cars, no YouTube.
Take a week
like
off.
I'm going down home and I'm just turning that phone off. I'm turning the plug off and I'm being here in. I want to live in the moment this weekend. I don't want to think about tomorrow. I don't want to think about what I need to do next week. I don't want to think about what I did wrong this week. I want to be here and enjoy myself and enjoy this rare time that I've given myself to actually just be human.
Yep.
Like be a normal person. Like not saying that what we're doing isn't normal, but
Great.
that's the thing. I'm
nothing
trying
like being
not
not
to be
normal?
because the normal these days is just it's not enough for me.
No, I don't like the normal.
I don't like the normal. And
Some people do.
like to me, I go to work and I come home and it's like I don't have it's different for me because I'm single and I don't have anybody. If I had a partner, maybe my mind might change a little bit on the children side of things. Maybe if I had the partner, I wouldn't want the child right this second. But like thinking of things right now is like I go home, I go to work, I come home for the child yet.
Right.
So it's like until the child comes into this world, like I am so excited for this baby to come. Because like as the uncle,
Can I be honest for a second?
What?
I was talking to Brianna about this, and I said, Alex and Sean are having a kid, and I said I'm giving Austin like a month or two before he leaves.
no.
And the reason I said it is because it's gonna be your guys' kid, and when that kid's up at 2 a.m. screaming,
Dude, you don't know how I
He
sleep.
sleeps through everything.
yeah,
You don't know how I sleep, dude.
well,
I've already
apparently
slept
not.
in houses with children.
I just
Like crying
I
babies.
did not expect that. I thought you would have been out.
Do you? I don't.
You're
think,
sure as frig that I would be out. It's not that I don't like kids. I really do enjoy kids. I just think that I think I'm surprised.
I'm Uncle
honestly
Austin.
Surprised.
He's living up.
You're Unk. Yeah, you get the Unk status.
I
now.
am
You
literal
got the
unk
real
status. Literal unk status. But
So you'll be here for a while. I did not expect that.
well, to be truthful with you, where else are you gonna go for the?
Well, that's
I'm not about to sacrifice
to
half of
land.
my paycheck just to live on my own.
Lantana, baby.
It's like, or I could be in this child's life, be supportive of Lex and Sean.
Yeah.
Because Sean is literally like a brother to me.
Yeah.
We've known each other forever, almost the same person. Everyone thinks we're brothers. We damn near look the same.
Yeah.
If we swapped IDs, we could get into bars. And Lex has become pretty much like a sister to me. So why else wouldn't I want to be here, support them, and love the child? Because I love the child. It's not even here yet.
That's a good answer.
It's like why wouldn't I? This is they have exactly what I want, and they're allowing me to be a huge part of it. Why wouldn't I want to be there?
We'll put your number down below.
Wait a minute. Why?
You never know. There might be a honey out there named Beatrice or like
Beatrice, Virginia.
Come on, man. There might be somebody out there for you.
Nah. I'm not into the arranged marriage type of thing.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that? She might be pretty.
I don't
Are you
care.
judging off of looks or are you judging off of personality? Ooh.
Looks are a prerequisite. Everyone's pretty. Personality is what makes
I
and
always
breaks the
say
deal.
looks don't raise a kid.
Looks don't raise a kid. Absolutely not.
Some pretty
Absolutely
people out
not.
there, but there's some dunces out there.
Oh, big time. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, and that brings me back to another point. It's like I'm not about to say this is going to sound very bad, but I'm not crapping on you ladies.
Say it.
Everyone's pretty, so just because you bring looks to the table does not mean that you're worth grabbing off the market. Because being pretty is a prerequisite. Like, everyone's pretty these days.
Sure.
Like, and to everyone's different taste, but objectively,
Sephora makes everybody pretty.
I can go downtown and look at a lineup of girls, And I might not be attracted to any one of them, but I can sit here honestly and say, objectively, you all are beautiful women. You're all beautiful women. Not my taste.
But looks don't bring anything to the
Looks
table.
don't bring nothing to the table. Looks get you to the table. Personality keeps you at the table.
Ooh.
And that's the same. It's the same way. Flip the coin. It's the exact same way. Looks and physique get the man at the table. How you act at the table keeps
Right.
your seat.
Could we argue money's a factor in that too?
Money isn't monetary, but that's. But I am a believer of traditional roles.
Why is money so attractive?
Because it's freedom.
Ooh. It's a good answer.
Because it's the only answer. It's the only money is freedom. Because I hate money. Me and money do not get along. Like my thought of money is terrible. Like I don't want to as much as I am saving, need to save, and want to save. I hate it that I'm saving because to me, money is it's such an it's quite literally the root of all evil. It's what turned every good man bad was currency. Whether it was in the form of dollar bills, gold coins, iron, silver, gold, whatever it was a currency that was being traded for goods. Because the way that money is, you trade your time, the greatest currency on the planet, for money. So you have freedom to do things. And the more money you have, the more time you have.
I was having this conversation with my girlfriend and that you can buy back time.
In what regard?
Well, think about this for a second. You make $1 million in a year. Someone
Yeah.
else makes $1 million in 4 years.
Right.
Are you not 4 times faster in life than somebody else?
No, I would say you're 4 times richer.
I would say you're 4 times faster. You made it in a year. He made it in 4.
Yeah,
You
but
know how
also
much you can do in that extra 3 years where it may take him to
make $3 more million.
Exactly. But you can see how quickly that adds up. I would argue the fact that you could buy back a lot of time with money.
You can. You can buy back lost time.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, you trade off money gains you future,
Yep.
whereas getting the money trades your past. You're
Yeah.
trading present and past. That's what I mean. Like money is literally, and if you really want to look at it on a on a huge quantum spectrum, which is if somebody wants to take the time to actually deduct the meanings of this, that, and the other thing, money is just modern day slavery. Because it keeps everybody employed doing a job for somebody else, offering up their time that they don't want to give so that they can have a bit of free time and enjoyment when they're not. Objectively, forcibly, let's be honest, a lot of us can't afford not to have a job. Like, you could live off-grid without the government assistance if you wanted to. All of us could.
Nowadays, I'd argue you couldn't.
You could.
Well, here you might.
I could literally go to my property and live without the government if I wanted to. If I wanted to. But there's too many luxuries that I wouldn't want to give up. And the problem is I have to give up. The only way to get money is to give up your time. Your time.
The best concept is delinking your time from money.
But you can't because the two are intertwined forever.
Time and money.
Time and money. Because money equals time and time equals money. There is no other constant, in my opinion, in this world other than time and money. Because the only way to get it is by giving up time. And all money does is give you more time to do what you want. But the only way to do what you want is with money. That's why I'm saying it's not slavery in the sense that slavery was in recent history. Like
You're speaking as a white man.
cancel me. I don't care. But by keeping the largest majority of your working population working jobs that probably 80%, 90% of them don't want to do just so they can live.
Yeah.
Is that not?
So what's the escape?
Figuring out how to make a boatload of money. Well, unfortunately, for a lot of people and a lot of men, it's death. Like, I won't sit here and lie to you and say, in my darkest times, I haven't sat here and contemplated about
Everybody
it.
has.
Everybody has. Because, and the scary thing for me was I started contemplating it as not an emotional response, but as a logical answer to my problems.
Yeah.
And that's what really made me...
Well, you can see how quickly people kill themselves.
I can understand it 100% because, I sit here and think, unless I figure out a way to become my own boss and figure out a way to make my own incomes for giving up, 45, 50 hours of my time every week to somebody else, then I'm going to be stuck giving up a third of my day which the other third is spent sleeping. So really I only have a third of a day left, do whatever I want to do, but half the time that's spent cooking, running errands, doing this, buying other things that we need just to live. It's a whole conundrum that you can dive real deep in the rabbit hole, but I won't say unless you're very mentally strong, don't do it, because it's going to put you in a crippling depression to realize how screwed we all are. But that's why the focus for me is in time, like we said at the start. I don't have, statistically speaking, I won't have retirement years to enjoy. So if I want to enjoy my life the way I want to enjoy it, I better retire by the time I'm 45.
Yeah.
So I could spend those last 20 years of my life, whereas normally it would be 65 to 85. For me, it would be 45 to 65. That's why I'm trying to figure out ways to work 7 days a week, trying to figure out ways that I can supplement myself so I can give less of my time to other people and give more of my time back to myself.
And do you think you figured that out yet?
Oh, I haven't figured it out yet, but we're making good progress. Nobody's ever figured it out.
What?
Bill Gates never figured it out.
You don't think so?
There's more. How much money is left in this world that he doesn't have?
Fair enough. Well, what is money? Money's nothing but the spiritual concept of something.
Right.
Money's a piece of paper. We could get into this.
Well, we moved off the gold standard. Money isn't backed by gold no more. Fractional banking.
Is it?
Bro, you're telling me you didn't
But
know
I
that?
thought gold was one of the number one assets right now because
Third. It moved back up to third.
It's what I thought.
Yes, but the North America, someone correct me if I'm wrong, we moved off of this before Y2K to fractional banking, which is debt and numbers on the screen. We moved off of the gold being the driving force of our dollar, or our dollar being backed by the gold standard, into fractional banking. And that's why I say money isn't real. Numbers on a screen, like if I'll just put this into perspective. If every single person in Canada went to your bank, if we all started lining up at the bank, every single citizen in Canada tomorrow, and asking for whatever we had in our bank account out in cash, we'd bankrupt every fucking bank in Canada.
Well, you know the leverage system.
Banks have money because people owe them money, but the money, it has no physical value.
Well,
It's numbers on a screen.
Leverage out at 100 times. $20,000 in the
That's
bank
what
account.
fractional banking is. And that's why I said when we moved off gold standard, backing our dollar by a literal physical currency, whereas it was back in the old days, gold coins, gold bars, silver, like bricks, the national currency that's trying to combat the USD as a global national currency is backed by gold. I'm not saying it's going to work, but the theory is better than what fractional banking is. Like, I'm going to sit here and say, like, we're not going to get shut down because we don't have enough traction right now on social media, but government's lying.
Well, we all know that. I think everybody knows that, and I think it's not as...
No, most people don't know that. You'd be surprised.
It's not as crazy to say now, though, as it would have been back in the 90s.
It just is, because I'm going to pull something up on... I posted this on Facebook, and it's going to be... you're going to be like, oh, this is definitely something he would post on Facebook.
I was going to say, you Facebook worried it out, didn't you?
Oh, man, I'm a champ, dude. So here it is. This is a quote by Aldous Huxley. The greater part of the population is not very intelligent, dreads responsibility, and desires nothing better than to be told what to do, provided the rulers do not interfere with its material comforts and its cherished beliefs. It is perfectly happy to let itself be ruled. And that is what I... Look at the rest of the people you share the road with. Look at the people you walk through the mall with, you walk to the grocery store with. They don't have a care in the world about what's going on. And it obviously shows. Because we have more people defending the crooked ways that the Western world is being manipulated right now than the people who are opposing it. The people who stand out against it are the ones who are vilified and shunned, not the people who get on board with it.
Now, my theory would be, do you think that's just because people are raised in the same way? You're raised to know this, you're raised to know that, and I think it's now intrinsically put in people's values. If you're raising your kid to follow rules, and your kid's going to follow rules.
I think it's different for me because, like, I'm not saying I was raised by my grandparents, but, like, my grandparents had a very heavy foot in my upbringing. Yeah. Like, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents through all ages. Like, my dad's parents would look after me when I was living in here. She babysat me until we were in grade 2. But even then, they were right across the street. So whenever we'd go over to Grandma and Gramps on the weekends, weeknights, whatever. And then on the weekends, we'd go home to my mom and dad's parents in Sheet Harbor before we moved down. So no matter what, I was spending time with grandparents. I was spending time with the older generation. I was spending time with not 30-year-old parents. I mean, obviously, mom and dad were in my life every day, but like there was a lot of influence from the boomer generation. And the way my dad was brought up was very strict, very on respect, very on, yes, you're my kid, but you're still going to do what you're still going to do what you're told. Man. And I believe, I'm not saying the way that they raised him was wrong, because I completely wholeheartaply agree, and dad was the same way.
He's the one that raised you.
Yeah, dad was the same way I was growing up, rebellious, you know. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, we'll say that. And the way that I see kids being brought up nowadays is that I was raised with a lot of discipline. That even though that what I asked you to do was so meaningless and stupid, that's not the point. I asked you to do it.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Like,
or you're getting the biggest spanking of your life.
It's no longer being asked. You're being told. And the point of
it goes from asking to being told.
But the whole point of it was, I shouldn't have to tell you.
No.
You are my son. I ask you to do something. You are expected to do it. And not saying it's, go fetch me 20 beer from the liquor store. Yeah. Like, you're like, hey, you down there, go get me two beers now.
Make your bed.
It's
go
like
mow the lawn.
Exactly. Hey, can you go mow the lawn, bud?
Yeah.
It's not a no, dad. Right? No, it's yep. No problem.
Oh boy,
it's the point. It's the point of respect to your elders, the respect of the person who has authority over you.
Do you remember the first time you ran your mouth? Oh. He said, I don't want to hear that coming out of your mouth no more.
You ran my mouth to who? I can tell you every different punishment I got. I got my mouth washed out with soap quite a few times.
I've had that happen.
Shout out Graham.
For Christmas one year, that was fun.
You got what?
Coal.
Coal for Christmas? No way, you actually got coal. It was threatened, but it was never given to me.
Yeah,
I tell you, I would have woke up.
I was so sick.
Savage, man. I would have been bawling my eyes out.
She said, I said, oh, it's Christmas morning. Here I am, 8-year-old kid, tucked in my little Thomas the Tank Engine PJs. I'm ready to get up. I'm happy as heck. It's Christmas morning. I walk out the door. Isn't there a lump of coal in a red bag sitting right outside of my door?
I think actually we had that one year.
I didn't know it was coal. So I'm thinking, look at this, I get a gift right at my front door. I'm thinking, oh, this is a great Christmas, starting off real good. Don't I open it and it's
coal.
6 black rocks of coal. You've been a bad boy this year. I was like, thanks, guys.
But see, you know what the funny thing is? I just want to interject on that. Is that, do I think that enticing children to be good because a form of reward is good? Yes. Because, let's be honest, we don't do anything in this world as an adult without a reward for ourselves. I wouldn't be going to work if I wasn't getting paid.
Well, sometimes for a prolonged reward.
I mean, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying.
So, like, telling a kid just to do this because this, just because, doesn't work.
Oh.
Kids don't understand that.
No.
And you have to put a monetary reward in front of a kid for them to actually, but it teaches them that there is reward for the work they put in.
Yep.
But the problem is that when we stray too far in either direction, when either you overwork your kid, you're a little bit too, I mean, I've seen it, like, it's too strict on children, pushes them in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But also being too lenient on the children pushes them in the opposite direction again. They become entitled and, arrogant, whereas the strict, in my experience, in my view, and, people I've grown up with, the parents that were extremely strict on their kids, they just brought up very sneaky good liars.
Yeah.
That, the kids are going to be kids, and you have to let kids be kids, and you have to let nature run its course, but guiding them along the right path along the way, I think, is the proper step to do. I'm saying this as a non-parent, but I'm saying this as a child when I grew up. Knock wood. Not a parent. Hey, I wouldn't be opposed to it if I was with. I'm just saying. If I had a girlfriend in like 4 years, and she said tomorrow, "Hey, I'm pregnant," I'd be like, "Woohoo!" That sounded a lot like Mario, didn't it? Do I just got to grow the plumber stash?
Oh my goodness! Please don't.
I wouldn't look good with a mustache, would I?
No.
Keep what you got going on right now.
Damn.
I don't like mustaches.
I find a lot of
no disrespect, but I'm not trying to appease you.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's a fair enough point.
I just think everybody, it's either beard or just don't.
See, I wish I could grow a mustache. That's the only thing I can't grow.
What do you mean? You can definitely grow a mustache.
Nah, dude, it's pathetic.
Is it?
It's pathetic.
Mine's coming.
Like it's starting to come in now. I think it's just age is like playing a factor in it. But like my beard's a lot fuller now. I just smacked the cat whiskers on this thing. Hopefully
you're
that
good.
wasn't too
You're
loud.
good.
I just bop, bop. It's like the cat when it's seen. It's like,
Oh, them bad cats, boy.
man, they don't mess around, dude.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to say before we end this? Because we've got like 3 recordings and
An hour and a half, eh?
Phenomenal, probably. It's almost 9.
Let me check. Is it actually? Oh, it is too.
It's 8:30. Great. I mean, there's nothing wrong.
Your battery's about to die, so we might as well
anything
wrap
you
this up
wanted
right
to
now.
say? Listen, you did it to me. I did it to you last time. I'll let you put the camera in my mouth, and I'll record an outro. Because remember what I did last time?
Pause, dog.
No.
Okay, come on, you
Pause.
guys are making it a lot more fruity than it has to.
Well, I'm just saying.
Come on, the fruit. Yeah, the fruit house.
All right.